Okay, everybody, let's party. This is Barbara, and we're gonna do a couple different things on this. This is I'm the changes that I'm gonna be making on this close to my heart workshop for Let's Party are a little bit smaller. I'm gonna do a little dry embossing, and then the main thing is I'm going to be switching up the way that we put the mats down, the photos down, because I just felt like when I looked at this page, it was a little static, not a lot of movement on the page. And movement is important when you're talking about art. And frankly, our scrapbook pages are art. So we're going to start off with a little dry embossing first. So if you have a scoreboard like I do, that's great. If you don't, you can use a dry embossing tool or a bone folder or a dull knife. Any of those things would work with your trimmer, with the groove in your trimmer. And you just move it. On this particular one, I did every 1/4 inch. So you just go ahead and kind of, you're doing an indentation into the paper. And you might see when I started, I actually I bend the paper because there is a grain to your paper. And so what I do is I kind of bend the paper towards itself and find out which is the easiest side. So, if it bends easily, then I know that the grain is going to be put down horizontally so that I'm going to go along the grain. So the easy bend, I'm going to turn that to the left-hand side and put that on the scoreboard so that it's kind of going along the easy side and not against itself. If you kind of go against the grain, you sometimes are going to have trouble with your embossing where it's going to kind of grab, and so that's why you might see me fold that paper, because I'm trying to go with the grain on there. So it does take a little while for me to go through and do all of this dry embossing, and I apologize for that. So let me see if we do do the second page too. Then I probably will just speed that up for you. All right, now that we've got that dry embossing done, we're going to do something just a little bit different too. I figure all of you have white cardstock at home, so I am going to take a 1/4 inch off of the pink paper, the pattern paper that comes with this, and make a frame with some white cardstock. So just add some white cardstock or whatever you have that matches these colors. Look on the zip strip, it'll tell you all the colors that are in this, just to make a little bit of a frame for it. I don't do this on all of my layouts, but I like the look, especially when I see a lot of kind of empty space coming off the side. I think it's really a nice way to finish it by having a little bit of a frame. So now we're going to take our dry embossed piece, and I'm going to do it horizontally here. So I'm going to glue that down, and I believe we're going... Let me see. It looks like about 1 inch and... Let's see. No, I'm sorry. 3/4 of an inch from the bottom of the page to put this white paper down. This white cardstock. And then it's about the same, I believe, from the sides. Let me see. Yeah, 3/4 of an inch from each side. And now look at that. Nice texture there, the nice framing. This makes all the difference. Now, when I first put this down, I thought, oh, I think I just a little bit crooked there. And yep, I kind of bent up my page when I pulled that up, but it doesn't matter because so much of the page is going to be covered. So now we're supposed to have a certain kind of this Stickles glitter gel, and I can't even remember the name of the color that we were supposed to buy, and I totally forgot to buy it. So and now it's sold out. So instead, I had some Stickles glitter gel that was kind of a white. So we'll be using that today. So if you have the one that you were told to buy with this kit, that's awesome. And you can do the same thing. I tried dyeing this, but it didn't work. So this paper, the confetti paper, I'm going to call it, is going up about 1¼ inch from the bottom, and it's flush with the sides. And I am not quite flush on mine, but I had to trim it off just a tiny bit there. Now we should be ready. Okay. And I believe we're doing the sticker sheet next. And you're going to want to cut the 2 top borders at 10½ inches. And I'm going to lay those down before I start applying the stickles, because I want to know what area I need to put the stickles down. Now on layout 2, we will put the stickles down first before we start putting everything together. But I really wanted to make sure these went right in the area between the sticker border and then that confetti paper. And you're also going to add some to the blue star circle that was a punch out. Keep it thin. Use your palette knife. Spread it thin, because if you spread it too thick, you're going to start to get too much moisture on your page, and you know what happens. Then it'll start to buckle and puff up, and we don't want that. We want our pages to lie down nice and flat. Now let that dry. Let it dry well, and then it's time to put on the photos. And as I said at the beginning, I'm going to change up the photos just a bit, because I felt like there was too much straight up and down between the 2 pages of this layout. So we're going to tip them a little bit like we used to do and go a little old school, right? And so I kind of looked about the approximate placement that they had for them before, which was about 3 inches up, but then just want to kind of put these photos down at around 3 inches, but then tipping. So there's no perfection in this particular part of it, because you just want to do what looks good. I knew that the one that's going to be on the right is going to be covered down at the lower right of it. So I wanted to make sure that that was kind of tipped slightly so that it gave some room for all of that embellishments to come. And then I decided that the one in the middle might as well have some foam tape on it, because it's not going to be embellished other than the little piece of fake washi tape sticker at the top. So I added some foam tape for that one, just to, again, add a little more dimension and pop that up and make it really stand out. I turned all these photos black and white because not because they didn't match the paper, but because the background of my kitchen, my old kitchen in my old house, wasn't didn't look that great. So that's a way to hide some of the bad things in your pictures too. Just turn them black and white, and nobody will ever know. And so this is my son Sam. Oh gosh, I don't even know which birthday this was. Let me look it up. Let me see. Oh, I haven't put the date down yet, so I have to go through my photos and find that date on this one. But I don't know, he looks like maybe 15 there, 14, 15. And the pictures weren't that great, but we're just using them anyway, because they're the only ones I have. So pictures don't have to be perfect either. And you'll even see on the next page that one of them is quite blurry, of him and he and myself. So don't let that stop you from scrapbooking them, right? Okay, so now we're going to just put these decorations down. We got the blue circle down first, and then I got another one of the punch outs was this little balloon piece. And I did not pop that up. I'm just going to lay all these down until we get to the star sticker, because that's the one that lays over the other 2. Lies, whatever. And so that one's going to get a little piece of pop tape on it. And then the little word yay will also get a little bit of pop tape on the right-hand side. because that will be laying on the star on the left-hand side. So it'll lay over the star, and then you just do a little piece of pop tape to pop it up on the right-hand side. So when I'm doing this voiceover, sometimes it's really hard because the recording is right over the actual video that I'm looking at. And so it gets really hard to see what I'm doing sometimes. So if I'm a little off in the timing, I hope you'll forgive me on that. I can see the star, but like I can't see anything below the star. So I have to kind of guess at what I was doing by looking at my original layout. So I believe now, what do we've got? We've got some more stickers to put on that, or I'm going to do the, I'm doing a little, I see. Oh, I've got the little candles. So these are the acrylic pieces that come with this kit, and I'm going to put a little of this clear gel glue on them because that holds heavier things. And one of them broke, and so the little star flame at the top kind of broke off on that one, but it doesn't really matter because once you put it down, you've glued it all back together anyway. So I'm doing blue and then white and then black and then pink, but of course it doesn't matter. So whatever order you want to put those on. And always remember that if you look at your pages ahead of time, you can see that you're not going to necessarily use every sticker or every acrylic piece. So if you see ones you like, throw them on there, because I know that once you've finished with a paper pack and you got some extra embellishments, sometimes, you know, they just sit and they never get used again. So you might as well use them on the layouts while you have the paper out, right? So go ahead and throw some extra things on there if you want to. There's certainly room on this layout for it. If I was going to add some decorations, I would probably do it on that left picture down at the bottom on the pink and white striped paper. So, you know, put them wherever you want so that they don't get wasted in the long run. Unless you want to do what I've been doing now, which is sorting all of my embellishments by color. And then I have a different bin for each color. So that's a way to use it if you're not going to use it right now. All right, let's put that yay sticker on. Remember, the left-hand side is going to just stick right to the star. So all I needed to do was put a little pop dot on the right-hand side. And then I believe we've got one more sticker on this part here, which is the little green starbursty type of sticker, asterisk, whatever you want to call it. I am popping that one up. That's going to go kind of to the left lower side of that balloon punch-out piece. And then what do we have? Oh, we got to do our happy birthday banner. Don't get intimidated by it. It really was quite easy. And it's even easier when you've kind of got your dry embossed lines, because you can use them a bit as a guide. But honestly, because it's supposed to have a slight curve to it, you don't even have to be perfect on this. I think that I just started right at the left because I wasn't too worried. So I kind of wanted the word happy to have its own curve, and then the word birthday to have its own curve. So I was not even measuring at all, just slapping them down about 1/8 of an inch apart with just the slightest curve as I did it. So there's nothing really difficult about this. Just kind of give it a little bit of, equal distance between, and then just slightly curving. Now we're turning back the other way to start the B. And then this is going to be a longer curve, but still just barely curving. So just a tiny little bit as you go. And then it pretty much worked. Now, when I got to the end, my Y was in a little bit further than the H is on the happy. So it didn't really matter, though, because we've got that acrylic piece we're going to put up there. So nobody would ever look at that and say, oh, it's uneven. Unless you're really picky. But so here I put the Y down, and then now grab those 3 acrylic pieces. They're all the blue starbursts. And I put the glue right directly on my page, so I didn't have to, it gets a little messy sometimes trying to put it on the embellishment itself. So just sticking those on, a little dab of glue on each side. And be careful when you slide this into the page protector. Of course, make sure it's dry first. The big one goes in the middle and between the happy and the birthday there. And I believe that is about it for this page. So we will move on to the next one, Or do I have one more? Let me see. Oh, yeah. Oh gosh, I almost forgot those. There's 3 little pieces of fake washi tape on these that are stickers, and so you just pop those up at the top, and then that's it. And I remember when I was looking at these stickers, I thought, don't forget the washi, don't forget the washi, and I almost forgot the washi. So there's page 1, and then we can get started on page 2 next. Oh, did I miss something? No. No, it just didn't. It came down a little bit. So there we go. Let's go on to page 2. All right, page 2. We're going to do the same thing as we did on the first one. We're going to take a 1/4 inch off of side 1 and then tip it and then take it off side 2. And that will add a nice little border onto the white cardstock. This is something you can do to most any of your pages. If you like that look, it's just something about sometimes there's just when some of the paper is just playing around the outside edge, it drives me a little crazy. So everybody has white cardstock at home, right? Now remember, this piece is going to be about 3/4 of an inch from the bottom and from the sides. That's your dry emboss piece. Make sure that the lines are going the same way as they did on the first one, which is horizontally. Don't we love our rulers? That see-through ruler that close to my heart used to make. Man, I bought a bunch when they said they were going to stop selling them because I had to have, I had to have plenty. I didn't want to have any break or anything. So, all right, now I'm going to use my Stickles again. Again, it's going to go on the blue circle. Keep it thin. And then we've got it in the upper right-hand side. I didn't need to put my journaling block down there this time because I knew that I was about in the right spot. And let those dry. And onto the confetti paper. This is going to go 3/4 of an inch from the bottom of the page and flush with the sides. And make sure that all of that Stickles is dry before you do this. Now I'm putting together the journaling. I have a tendency now to not use the exact journaling that they use, as far as like I'm not going to write directly onto this white piece, but what I'm going to do is use my journaling stickers that I have and put it over it. And I like the texture of that, of doing that. Plus it gives me a chance to write on the stickers before I put them on, and that way I don't have to worry about making any mistakes because I just will only use the ones that I did right. This is going 1 inch in from the right hand side, about what did I put that at? 3.5 inches from the top. Yep. This one I wanted straight. Because again, you want to add some variety to it. So if I tipped every single picture and the journaling block, then that also can get to be too much. So I kept one straight, and then I'm putting all of the photos on a tipped angle. So once your blue circle is dry, you want to put that in there. Upper left. I got a little glue on it, so I'm using my glue eraser there, one of the best products ever. If you don't have one, you absolutely need one. I would put that on the list of the top 10 things that you need to have as a scrapbooker and card maker, because we all make mistakes, right? So now I'm looking at these 2 photos. One I'm going to pop up. This one on the left with him blowing out the candles is going to get popped up because that does not have decorations over it. So that gives me the advantage to pop that up. The other one, the one with me and Sam, very grainy picture, but the only one I have. So that one's going to go down flat because the word party and that whole banner piece, that grouping is going to go over it. So that needs to stay down flat. And I tipped it slightly to the left on the bottom. And this one's going to tip to the right on the bottom and be popped up. And it's going to go up over that blue circle. And then we'll do some decorating. But I didn't even know I had these pictures. Boy, I'll tell you, once I started to really get to know my digital files and my digital photos and go through them and start getting rid of ones I don't want and really getting to know them, then it makes it so much easier when I'm starting to put together a layout to know exactly what pictures I already have, because I spend a little time with them every day, deleting and favoriting these. All right, so now we're going to use that a little cupcake punch out, and that's going to be popped up on the upper right of the blue circle. And then this all about you sticker. On the left-hand side, no pop dots needed. On the right-hand side, we want to even that out because the cupcake paper is, element there is popped up. So you just lay it like that, and then it's nice and even all the way across. And we're looking for the blue or the pink heart first, and then the little red star, and then the green heart is what you're looking for on there, on your stickers. And what else we need to do here? I think we're gonna start putting the next part together. Let me check here. Yep. All right, so you're gonna dovetail, I believe you have to dovetail that little blue piece. And then now these acrylic letters all have an outline also in acrylic. This is a very cool little thing that Close to My Heart does here. And I found the easiest way is to just kind of glue them down directly to the paper and not try to like put the white P down and then put the outline on afterwards. So I just kind of held them in my hand together, put the glue on both the black and the white, and then just laid them down that way. And it just seemed easier than trying to put the white down and then trying to put the black down later. And then I tipped them slightly, again, adding a little bit of movement. Plus, it makes it easier when you're tipping them because you don't have to worry about them being perfectly straight, because that's kind of hard to do sometimes. So make sure you get that glue on both the black and the white, or it's not going to work as well. All right. And I think I forgot to do the dovetailing till after I glued everything down. So here I am carefully dovetailing without letting all of those pieces fall off. So make sure you do your dovetailing ahead of time. All right, now I'm going to attach that down. And because those are still kind of wet, I'm going to put the glue on directly on the paper. But you should let your letters dry first. All right, and that's just going to overlap slightly onto the journaling. And you see, in the original, it's interesting because everything is so straight across and straight up and down. This way you've got a lot of movement going in on there. So now we need some of the stickers. You're going to use that blue starburst first. I just are putting that one down flat, and then I think I used a little pop dots on the golden white one. I think, what is that? Sundance. Yep. Sundance color one, and that's just going to go up above. And I've changed where they are. It's a little bit different than directions because I wanted to fill in some of that space where I had overlapped and pull the interest up to that spot instead. So there's a little red heart, I think it is, and a blue star. And those are going to go just above that too. So that won't look exactly like the directions. Put it any way you want. It's your page, right? So then what I did was added on some journaling. We're going to show you that now. So instead of writing directly onto the white journaling panel that we cut out, I wanted to do my adhesive journaling strips. So much easier for me to write on those first and then move them over. Then hope that I don't mess up my journaling on the white background, on the journaling block that they had us cut out. So this was just much easier, and then it adds some more dimension, which I really liked. So I think that's it. So here's our page. Hope you like them.